Today's video, I finally got decent heat for this garage. Hello, I'm Eugene Torto. This is ET Garage, and if you've never been to my channel before, it's mostly me doing projects on the Corvette and other projects out here in the garage. But the one problem I always had with this garage, and I've been living here for 20 years now, is I never really had a permanent heat solution. I'd bring like a propane heater out here, which would heat it up really quick, but then it would make everything sweat. I tried one of these Chinese oil heaters, and that was okay on moderate days, and that was it. You know, it's really designed for heating a camping trailer. It's not designed for heating a space like this. And there used to be heat in this garage when I first bought it. It had a big cast iron radiator on the wall, and it was hooked to my furnace in the basement, and I was supposed to put antifreeze in there when I first moved in here, because what happens is when the heat shuts off in the house, the water sits out here in this radiator in this uninsulated garage. At the time I had no insulation out of here at all. I have insulation on the ceiling now, but and the radiator froze and cracked, so I removed that, and I thought about hooking up a heating system to that furnace again, and on really cold days it's going to run that furnace continuously, and I'll be burning through heating oil real quick. I don't want to do that. I do have experience with a used pellet stove that I've had in my basement for a very long time. That one I picked up cheap from a friend up the road here. I knew it worked and all that good stuff, and I have it hooked up to my vent in the floor for heating the upstairs, and it heats the basement and the upstairs, and it works real good. It's an older, like one of the first pellet stoves made. You have to ignite it manually. In other words, you got to load the pot with pellets and hit it with a torch and get it going that way, which ain't no big deal. But I always wanted to get a pellet stove for here, and I keep looking at used ones, and I decided, instead of taking a chance on a used one, just break down, buy a new one. And I looked at the reviews and stuff, and it's like this is the day after Thanksgiving 2024, and I bought this earlier in the week on, you know, Black Friday or Thanksgiving sale from Tractor Supply. If you're wondering what it costs at this time in 2024, it was $999. Same day shipping, so I went online, ordered it. I first called the store to make sure they had it, even though it showed they had two in there. The first store I called, they had two, but they said they were on layaway, even though they showed that they were in stock. So I called another store that's not too far from here, another Tractor Supply store, and they had two in stock, and they checked and they said they had one available that was good. And so I went online, ordered it, same day delivery. I think it was $69 for the same day delivery, plus tax. It was $1,134 or something like that, if you're wondering, 6% sales tax here in Pennsylvania. Now there's supposed to be like a 30% tax write-off when you get one of these pellet stoves too, so I'm not no tax expert, so you know, if you're interested in that, you got to look into it yourself. If you're wondering what pellets cost, the 40-pound bag of pellet costs right now between $6 and $7 a bag. This, unlike the one in my basement, one in my basement only holds one 40-pound bag. This will hold three 40-pound bags, and on the lowest setting, this will well, I don't know about this one. This is the first time I'm testing, but the one in my basement, a 40-pound bag, will last pretty much 24 hours on the lowest setting. And this stove here, it's a Pellet Pro. I'll try and leave a link in the description below. And this heats up to 2,500 square feet. Now my basement's around 500, or not my basement, my garage is about 500 square feet, but it's only insulated up top, and the concrete gets real cold and the concrete walls get real cold. Now, if I let this run for a couple of days, it will probably heat this concrete up to room temperature, and that concrete will retain it, so it will take less heat to keep it heated, and it will keep it, if you shut it off, it'll still let go of that heat over a slow period of time, like for a day or two. It'll still stay warmer than the outside temperature. Today is the first real cold day that we've had here in Pennsylvania in November. We've had warm weather, but today is like, I think the high is 36, and it's like about that temperature out there now. I came out here at 6:30 in the morning, and it was 35 here in the garage. I started this up, and I didn't set it on the lowest setting, but I set just above the lowest setting. And from 6:30 to, I'd say, about 8 a.m. from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. it went from 35 to 65, and that's on the thermometer that's on the cold side of the garage. So I'm really impressed with this on the lowest setting. This should work well. And something that's different from my old one in the basement is this has an auto igniter. So basically, you come out here, you turn, like, I'm not going to run this 24/7 all the time. I'm going to, like, say I'm going to come out here and work for a couple of days or just a day. I'll go out here the night before, turn it on, and then it'll be nice and warm and toasty when I come in here in the morning. Everything, when I mean toasted warming, I mean the car, it will be room temperature, the tools will be room temperature. Like, I turned this on a couple hours ago, so if I go use my tools, those tools are still going to be cold. My lathe and milling machine over there is going to be cold. But I put off a lot of projects in the winter because I just don't want to come out here in the cold. When I was younger, I actually came out here and worked when it was like 10 degrees out here, and worked in 10-degree weather. And I'm just, that was 20 years ago. Now I'm retired, and I don't want to deal with that. So I installed this. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. Tuesday I ordered this. Wednesday I installed it, and I actually made a mistake installing the pipe, but I'm still not happy with the exhaust pipe. And you don't have to run what they call the cold air inlet, where it sucks in the air. You don't have to run it from the outside, but they recommend it. And I think I might go ahead and do that. I'm going to see how it is the way it is just now, but I think I might go ahead and do that. You also, when you get a new stove like this, you got to go through like a 30-minute break-in period, and where you should turn it on the highest setting, and you got to burn, like, basically bake the paint. And I did that, but when I started, this is the first time I ran it since then. I only ran it like an hour after I first installed it, so this is the first day I'm really testing it. And you can still smell that paint being burnt off of there, and it's actually, I saw a little bit of smoke from that paint here. So it may take more than 30 minutes, especially if you're out here in a cold garage. I'm going to burn this for the next couple of days and see how it does. And it does have a thermostatic knob on the side that you can adjust. If you set it on the very low setting, it'll just run continuously on low. If you turn it just above the low setting, it will cycle, warm up to a certain temperature, and cycle off and on. So I'm going to go ahead and try that feature. After I'm done filming here, I'll go ahead and do that and see how well it maintains the temperature and all that stuff. I could just set it on low, on the lowest setting, and 3 bags should last 3 days, hopefully. Which would be real nice. Of course, then I got to go pick up more wood pellets. So, and that's one thing you got to keep in mind when you do buy a pellet stove. You got to buy keep a lot of, depending on how you're going to use it. you're going to need a lot of pellets, wood pellets. You can order them from like Home Depot, a whole pallet, which is a ton. And it's cheaper to buy it by the ton, but then you have to pay for delivery. So if you don't have a pickup truck, you're going to have to pay the extra. You're not going to really save money. You're going to have to pay the delivery. I use my little Chevy Trax. I can pick up, usually I just pick up like 6 bags at a time, anywhere from 3 to 6 bags at a time. But I might go ahead. I don't know if I'm going to want to order a whole pallet, because if I order a whole pallet, this is the problem with pellets, wood pellets. You got to have a place to store that whole pallet of pellets, and you don't want to store them outside. These things even just get a little bit of moisture on them, and they just turn to dust, and they're useless. You just wasted your money. In fact, when you go buy individual bags of pellets, you want to make sure that you're getting good bags, because I've gotten them where ones on the top were wet, and you could tell when they're wet because they'll be like rock. The whole bag will be like rock solid, and it's useless. Basically, you can't use it. One thing I like to do is I like to eat the mixed bag of nuts that you get during the holidays. Save those shells. You break them up, you mix them in with the pellets, and you can burn them here in your pellet stove. They burn real good. I'm real happy with this so far. Of course, this is the first day that I'm really using it. I'm going to go ahead and set this on just above the low setting so it turns off. It should cycle off and on once it reaches a certain temperature. I'll have to see how it performs. And see how it performs that way, and then I'll go ahead and try it on just running it on low setting and see how it performs. But we're going to be getting some really cold temperatures. We'll be getting down into the teens at night the next couple of days, so this will be a good test. Of course, the real test will be on those days where you're in the teens during the day and single digits at night. So anyway, I guess that's it for this video. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving yesterday, 2024, and if you're doing Black Friday shopping, I avoid going out on a Black Friday like the plague, going to any of the stores anyway. If I'm going to do any Black Friday shopping, it is going to be on the internet and not at a store. No way I'm going to a store unless I need to go pick up a quart of milk or something. One thing about this is when you install this, follow the installation instructions. Like, I'm not supposed to have it this close to like a shelf, but I'm not worried about it. I'll keep an eye on it, but it's just the front of this that gets hot, and the back of this, where it's underneath that shelf, is at 78 to 76 degrees. So it's under 80 degrees basically. So I ain't worried about it. I'll keep an eye on it. I might go ahead and cut this shelf out anyway. And I need to build more shelves. I'm going to get rid of this porcelain sink and build a bunch more shelves here. And maybe I'll make more shelves going up here. Yeah, I think I'll do that because I need to get this garage organized. Anyone who watches me, watches my videos, knows my garage is a total disaster. I did a video on my workbench over there. I'll leave a link at the end of this video where I made a shelf underneath my lathe and milling machine. I went ahead and made another shelf, and that's helping out a lot. Just those couple of shelves, and that's what I need to do with this, is to clean up this whole area, get it organized, and I just need shelves. Yeah, that's it. When I make shelves, I use what material I have around to make the shelves. Like, this came on a pallet when they delivered it, and if I can utilize that pallet, this pallet with 2x4s and a cardboard box over 2x4s, if I can utilize them to make shelves, I'm going to do it. It's not, I'm not trying to make this look like Betty Homemaker house. This is a garage that sees a lot of rough and ready type of work. Let's put it that way. When I'm working on the Corvette and my milling machine and stuff, yeah. It's you know, it's just a DIY shop. It's not a professional shop, so I don't need to make it look appealing to customers or anything. Let's put it that way. Anyway, with this on the low setting, in here I am measuring 290 degrees in 94, 297. And coming out of here, the vent that's blowing out air is like 311, 313. Now when I had this on high the other day, it got up to 450 degrees coming out of there, out of that vent. So that's how hot that air will come out of here. And this thing is really nice and quiet, unlike the one I have in the basement. I would like to put this in the basement, but there's no way I can fit it through the opening. The one I have in there now, I had to take apart in pieces to get in here. This, you can't take apart in pieces like that one, and there's no way it's going to fit in there. But yeah, I'm happy with it so far. Hopefully it keeps working. I did read the reviews, and this Pellet Pros had the better reviews, and I forgot the other manufacturer, but the other manufacturer had like Wi-Fi, so you could turn it on from out, you know, say I'm inside the house. I could use my cell phone to turn this on. But those had a bunch of bad reviews, and it wasn't to do with the Wi-Fi, it was to do with this thing running. So this had good reviews, the other one didn't, and that's the reason I chose this and not the fancier one with the Wi-Fi. I wish this had Wi-Fi. It'd be nice. I could just wake up in the morning, you know, and say, oh, I think I'll go out, work in the garage, get the phone, and boom, and it's on. This one I have to come out here and do it. Pellet Pro might sell, I'm not sure, familiar with older lines, they might sell other models that have Wi-Fi. If you're looking into a pellet stove, you might want to research that. But so far I'm real happy. Like you can see, I'm out here in my shorts, and I'm going to just let this burn. I'm going to let it burn at least steady for 3 days. Burn through 3 bags, and see how things go. So anyway, I hope this was informative in some way. If you plan on heating a garage like mine, a run down, beat up garage like mine, or a nice modern one, or some type of workspace that's detached from the house like this is, or you just want to use it in your house or in your basement or whatever, it gives you an idea what to expect. Oh, one thing I should go over, one thing with pellet stoves, when you shut them off, you can't just unplug them or just shut them off. You can't just stop running them. If you do, this space will fill up with smoke. When you turn it off, it goes down through a cool down cycle. It stops feeding the pellets, so it has to burn out whatever pellets are in the pot down there. Once they burn out, the fans keep blowing until it gets cooled down, and then it shuts off. So it's not something you can just turn off and on like a gas stove or something like that. Also, when you turn it on, it's not instant heat. It takes a little while to build up heat. It takes a little bit for that self-igniting pot to start up. It says it could take up to 20 minutes. What I do is, if you turn it off, it burns off those pellets, so there won't be any pellets in that pot. So when you turn it on, it first feeds it, and then it has to ignite. And what I do before I turn it on is I open the door. You should clean that out anyway. Clean out the pot. I'll take a couple of hand scoops, throw them in that pot, then turn it on. This way it doesn't have to wait to feed. And when I did that this morning, it ignited within just a couple of minutes and fired up. When it first fires up, you're going to get a lot of smoke. It's not bad. As long as you have a good venting system, it's not going to be a problem. That's where that outside vent comes in handy. It keeps the smoke from building up in there and blowing out that vent and filling in here. So I still might go ahead and do that. But like I said, I'm going to end the video here. I hope everybody, like I said, I hope everybody had a very good Thanksgiving. I did. I was with family in Jersey, and I had a really good time. I hope you guys had a good time. So thanks for watching, and everybody have a great day, and God bless.